Hello and welcome back to Kev's Vintage Tractor Repair channel. In today's episode, we're going to be fitting the camshaft and the cam followers. So I hope you enjoy the video. This video is brought to you by MARC UK. If you are interested in any of the parts you see today for your own projects, please feel free to get in touch with me via email or Instagram in the description below, and I can supply those for you. Big thanks to MARC UK for sponsoring the video. Hello and welcome back to Kev's Vintage Tractor Repair channel. So we're back on the Ferguson FE 3523C. Previous episode we fitted the crankshaft and the new bearings. We have the camshaft. Now I would have liked to have got a new camshaft. They don't do a new one for this engine. This is a bit scored on sort of where it sits and is carried inside the block. But we're going to have to work with what I've got, and this is a lot better than any of the other ones I've got on my shelf. When you've got it out, you've given it a wash, have a good look at it, all right? There are some little scores on this. They're not bad, but we'll have to go with what we've got. Now, obviously this is the back of the engine. We have these flats, two there, and a groove there. When the oil pump is pumping all around the engine, we've got all our oil ways which are in the block, and one part of it, oil gets pushed up to this the back end of it. Oil comes in, goes into this groove, and as it's spinning around, it gets sort of pressurized and pushed up the block into our cylinder head. So when you're here, have a good look at it, make sure it's all clean, there's not too much rubbish in there, all right, but you would have cleaned it. We have our lobes, where our followers sort of move up and down as the engine is spinning. Have a good look at those, all right, make sure they're not worn or anything like that. You can tell when they're worn because they lose the shininess which is on there as well. This piece here is where the little lift pump sits, all right, also it's bolted to the block, and the little arm comes out, so as it's spinning, it's doing this, pumping diesel around. That's the middle sort of bearing or part of the camshaft. This piece here, this comes through to where the housing is where we fit our diesel injection pump. We haven't got to worry about timing at the moment. All we're going to be doing is fitting the followers and fitting the camshaft. So at the moment, timing doesn't even come into this at the moment. All right, when we get onto the front of the engine, we will fit in the timing chain is when it gets a bit more involved, and we'll do that over a few videos stage by stage, so it's easy to follow. So what we're going to do, we're going to move over to the engine block. Here are our cam followers. All right, these are the ones that came out of the engine. Have a good look at them again, make sure they aren't too worn, and these aren't too bad really. So look on the feet of them, and to be honest, they're all quite nice. That's all three of them. All right, so we're going to move over to the engine. All right, so we're now over here to the engine. All right, so if you see these four holes here down into the engine block, that's where our followers are going to be fitted into. All right, so I'll just get one on the cameras there. If you remember, when we put the crankshaft together, we used the assembly lube, which you can use bog standard engine oil if you wish, it's up to you. This works for me because it's nice and sticky. Put plenty on, give it a bit of a smear around. It's going to be a bit awkward for you to see, so I'll just put my arm in, find the hole, line it up, and then it goes. All right, so I get underneath, give it a bit of a move around, and that one's in. So we're now going to do that another 7 times. They're all our followers, all right, they're all in place, all right, so that's obviously that side, and then the other side as well. What we're going to do is we're going to fit the camshaft. What we're going to do is we're now going to fit the camshaft, which is going to go through here. So we're going to lube up the two ends. But what we need to remember, in here, there are 3 holes. So you've got 1 up there and then 2 there. We've located the holes in there, and what we need to do is find the corresponding ones on the bearing, on the cam bearing tool housing, if you wish. All right, because oil is going to be pumped around the engine and it needs to come through these holes and out into here to lubricate this end. So what we need to do is make sure we get it in the right place. What we're going to do, we'll lubricate these. Get a bit in that hole and then feed it through. So you get that one in. So that's the back one into the middle one. And again, push it all the way through. Some of your little followers might be in the way, so you might have to sort of turn and twist all this at the same time. So if we can get the middle one, so it's just then starting, it'll help line up the rear one. So then we can just push it in, start the little 1/2 inches in here. It is a little bit fiddly. It's all a little bit awkward because keep out of the way of the camera so you can all see. So there, started, give it a push, and it's in. Then get your little 1/2 inch, and then nip them up. They haven't got to be mega tight, just as long as they're nipped up. And that's that one in. So give it a check. Done. It's turning okay. So if we just can get up the ladder and have a look inside again. Camshaft's in. All right, give it a turn so we know it's all sort of in and snug. All right, there's no in and out movement. All right, so that's in place. So that's fitting the camshaft. That's that fitted. All right, I hope you enjoyed this little episode. All right, it's just sort of fitting the camshaft and the followers in. That's where we're up to. What I'm going to do next is try and get the engine block onto my engine spinner, which is going to make it a lot easier when we start fitting the liners and the pistons. So the next episode will be fitting the liners. So I hope you enjoyed this one and hope to see you next time. Thank you.